All right, welcome back. I am super excited to talk about our first honor tips and tricks, our monster variant, the Fuariora. Now, I know that sounds really weird. That's because I started experimenting with other languages and mixing and matching to get really cool combinations. I think this one is just like ice ferret or something like that, or frost ferret. I don't remember, but the artwork for this thing is really cool with the glow, but it's really adorable. So I really wanted something for our patrons. We've been, doing these one-page adventures that kind of all tie together, and we're tying all the monsters. So this was one that I wanted to go with an ice theme, but I didn't want something vicious. I wanted something adorable and cute. Oh, why don't you shake your hand like that? It's adorable. So I was like, well, I got to give it something more defensive, and I wanted to experiment with this. So first thing, we're going to start with the Death Dog stat block. Then we're going to get rid of its two-headed, its bite, and the size becomes small instead of medium. We're going to give it some new features: the vulnerability to bludgeoning and fire, and immunity to cold because it's a frost monster. We're going to give it some new mechanics called the Frost Luminescence is the first one. While in freezing temperatures, the Fuariora sheds bright light within a 5-foot radius and dim light for an additional 5. So the damn thing glows and it's cute. But we wanted to also make we were actually experimenting in chat with a new mechanic.
Yeah.
And I did finally choose your recommendation of Resurgence.
Yeah.
We wanted something based on Threshold. Do you know anything about Threshold in 5e?
No.
So in the Dungeon Master guides, there's objects like boats that have a threshold, which means you have to do a minimum number of damage for something to happen to actually affect it.
Yeah.
So everything else is superficial. So I wanted a mechanic that was similar, where if the players did enough damage in a single strike, it triggered something that made it dynamic, right? That required no action on the creature's turn, right? So we
Changes the flow of combat.
Yes, a lot. So we came up with Resurgence. Resurgence 10, which means if it takes more than 10 damage, which is about a third of its health. Because you got players that are just going to destroy things, right?
Smite!
Yes. So when the Fuariora takes damage from a single source greater than Resurgence threshold, it releases a burst of thick 10-foot cloud of fog that spreads around corners and lasts for 1d4 plus 2 rounds. That's pretty cool.
Or until wind blows the way.
You're just going to take the wind out of my sail like that, huh?
Yes.
All right, we're also going to give it since we took away the bite, we're going to give it a claw mechanic. So it'll do 1d6 plus 1 slashing, and target creature needs to succeed a DC 12 con save, or its movement is reduced by 10 for up to 1 minute. The creature can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns. So now we give it a slowing claw attack. The next thing we're going to give it is very much along the line of a dragon breath, which is I called it Frost Tail because I totally was thinking about Pokemon where they just turn around and swap and magic comes out of it. So I haven't decided if I was going to change that, but I like the way it is. The Fuariora whips its tail and releases a 15-foot cold of ice for 2d4 damage, taking half as much on a success. It's very simple, straightforward. What do you guys think about this?
I mean, the idea has merit in terms of the cuteness level. When you first mentioned that, I was thinking of what was the name of it? The cute child furry friend D&D setting that you...
Raven! Yes! Oh my god, they're so cute!
Yeah. I think this would be a great not as a playable race, but as an animal that the Furhaven characters would encounter.
Ooh, I like that. That's really cool. What did you think?
I think it's things you defeat by throwing Pokeballs at it. Just saying.
It is adorable and does look like a Pokemon. But what did you guys think about the Resurgence ability? Do you think that that's a
nice.
Cool kind of mechanic?
Yeah.
It's a nice touch, and it makes sense as a defense mechanism for a creature like this. So
Yeah.
And that's kind of and it totally was inspired by a skunk, except instead of it blowing stank, it blows cold. I really almost called it. Never mind what I was going to call it instead of Frost Tail. But anyways, it's a really fun one. It's meant to be a critter that's non-aggressive. And I think it would be fun to just kind of run into in the middle of an Arctic style adventure. Now they can still slay it, but I'm gonna be honest, DMs, if you're going to use this, they will make it a pet. They will do said thing. Of course, then you can have one person that it just doesn't like, and it just poofs off in the middle. So now they've got a portable magic item that's living. Like, oh, we want to hide. Rub it. It doesn't like when you rub its tail, and poof, everywhere. Start pulling it at people and pointing it up. Okay. Now I got a little fun. All right.
You think?
Wow.
I think that'll do it for our monster, the Fuariora. If you like these sorts of things or these ideas, I write full backstories and knowledge check data for you to share with your players, along with beautiful art for our patrons. Consider checking it out if you want this and many more that we've made over at patreon.com/CritAcademy.